Hello, my fellow golfers. I got a good tip for you today. I'll try and keep the video brief, but be sure and you hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, the share button, throw a comment below. And once again, all of my contact information is in the video description below. I'm going to share a tip I learned when I was 19, my second year of college golf down in San Diego. And what I'm going to share with you is especially true for beginner golfers. So I'm going to move my phone over here and hope you guys appreciate the videos. I don't do fancy editing, jot down a few notes, but it's all based on 35 years of golf experience. So stay tuned. I'm going to put my phone right over yonder and I'll share this tip with you. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully the microphone is picking up the sound, but I got my phone here at a different angle. I'm going to stand up here in a second and share that tip. You saw my, I think it was my last video, maybe a couple of videos ago. I was talking about why I had a golf net and why I've practiced with one for a long time, decades, okay? But there's also another way, and check out my two websites down below. They're my websites, not affiliate links, anything like that. Great prices, great products. But if you don't have a net and you're a beginner golfer, beginner to intermediate, once you get a little more advanced, you'll know where you're striking the ball on the club face. But I have two different quantity packets of these old school impact labels on both websites in the video description below. Check them out. Great prices. And I believe I sell them in a pack of 20 and a pack of 40, but there's 3 labels on each sheet. Yeah, 20 or 40 sheets per pack. Great affordable price, and it's a great way for you beginner golfers to find out where you're impacting the ball on the club face. We got one for driver, one for iron, one for putter. So go ahead, check those out, and let's get into the video. I'm gonna get my face out of the way. So this tip I learned, I think it was my first or second year of college. I was my roommate my sophomore year down in San Diego. He was our #1 golfer, and I was about I kind of rotated 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 was the traveling squad, so that was always a little frustrating. And if you've seen my prior videos, guys, frustration is part of golf. But as you get older, you have to let it go. You're not gonna become a pro overnight, or maybe not at all. So my roommate was our #1 golfer, scratch golfer. It's funny, he was a short guy, funny guy, little eccentric, but awesome dude. And I'd say he was like 5'10", 5'9", and I'm 6'4". He would blast it by all of us on the team. He just had a very basic swing. He really focused on just rocket turning those shoulders and firing those hips. But he shared with me something I had been doing in high school, and it finally clicked on me. And as I got older, it really helped out my game. He said, Jared, because this is back in when you're young, 19, 18, 20, and people still do this. Oh my gosh, I hit my 9-iron this far. It goes so far, my 7-iron. Well, and I used to be that way. I still hit the ball pretty far with a really high ball flight, but I used to start with my hands. Well, if you can see that, now I'll try to get square to the camera. I got a ball here on my mat. I would set up, and the ball is right here in the middle. I got my 9-iron. I'd set up with my hands ahead of the ball in the first place, then do a forward press. And my roommate said, we were hanging out one late night in the dorm room. We actually had a long hallway. We would hit little chip shots in the dormitory. But he said, Jared, no kidding, you hit them so far. You're de-lofting. You just turned your 9-iron into a 7-iron by doing that, starting ahead of the ball and then a forward press. No kidding. But oftentimes that led to way too steep of a swing, taking huge divots. And most often I would pull the ball, because when you're already ahead and then a forward press, you're closing the face. So who cares how far you hit your irons? The point I'm trying to get at, and he really showed me. He played these old Mizuno blades. he would shoot literally, he was scratch, but he'd shoot in the upper 60s sometimes. And I think he went on to compete in some mini tours, but I don't think he didn't, turn completely professional. But and that shows you how tough the game is at that elite level. So, guys, and I mentioned this in prior videos, I just wanted to share a personal story of mine, why it really changed my game, changed my consistency. Start out, guys, every club with your hands in the middle, right? Even with the ball, okay? Don't start way up here. Don't start back here, even with the ball, okay? Even in my case, I might go a little bit back because I still have a forward press. You want that trigger. So, and another tip, guys, most modern day irons, I think in the last 10 years, 5 years, modern day irons aren't the loft that they used to be. So don't get tricked into thinking, oh my gosh, I hit my 7-iron 195 yards. That 7-iron's basically old school 7-iron loft is basically a 5. You're hitting a 7-iron these days. It's almost a 5-iron. Okay, so take that into consideration. And what's nice, you can get clubs these days that have that. I think they call it a retro loft, going back to I have these on my Hogan forged sets. They're pretty much back to the old school blades. Pardon, I got gnats flying around. Beautiful 74-degree day. So focus on that, guys. And you'll notice if you're doing this too much, you're going to come into impact way ahead of the ball. You're going to be hitting it thin. You're going to be hitting it fat. It's going to be all over the place. So that's the key, guys. One more thing I'll share. My old college roommate, he didn't necessarily have a hand forward press. What he did, and I tried this, it didn't work for me. He would just have very great posture, athletic stance. He would do a little bump with his front knee, his lead knee, being a right-handed golfer. So it looks something like this. Boom. You see that little minor lean forward with that knee? Boom. And then he'd just turn his shoulders, not even parallel, and fire his hips. And this was back in the day, guys. He was hitting it 300 back in, what, 98, 99, something like that. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for that next video by hitting that bell notification. Have fun and hit them straight out there.